My wife wanted to put a hook in the kitchen for our keys when we come in from the vehicles. We currently have a hook by the back door, but the concern is that if we forget to lock the door or somebody busts out a window or something, they can easily reach in, grab the keys, and steal our cars. And with the crime level today, I think that it's not a bad idea to move the hook to where she wants it. But our kitchen is rather nice, and we really kind of hate to ugly up the kitchen with something that is completely utilitarian and not very nice to look at. So this is what I propose. I bought 2 hooks from the blue box store, and they have a nice design. Kind of matches our flowers and our gardening hobby, and dragonflies. We both like dragonflies. I also have this piece of wood here that was a leftover from some end tables I made for my brother. So I said, hey, you know, we can combine this piece of wood with these hooks, but just placing the hook on that piece of wood is not going to look that nice, in my opinion. The square ends, you know, we need more of a flow, as one is to say. So what I did was I had the thin piece of oak here, and I marked off the center, and then I traced the hook design onto it, and I can set it on the board here, and I've traced the other side here, and I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, I set it on the board and I traced that out, and that is going to be the shape. So I made a mistake. I thought this would be thick enough, this template, and it was not. And as a result, I got a couple places like this where I dug in a little bit too much. So I'm going to hit it with the sander, and then I'm going to round over the edges. And that's going to sit on there like that. Oh, you need to see it, don't you? That's going to sit on there like that. I think it's going to look good. I have the backer board sanded down to 220, and the edges are looking nice and smooth. And what I'm going to do now, before I put a finish on it, is I'm going to put the holes in for where the screws are going to be on both sides. And then I'm going to drill a hole right about here at an angle so that I can mount it on the wall with minimal holes in the wall. So I'm going to use these long finish nails. They're about 2.5 inches long, and I think that will do the trick just nicely. So once the holes are drilled, then I'm going to put a finish on it, and once that's done, the project will basically be done. Alright, so the key hook assembly is ready to go and be placed on the wall. Where my wife and I decided we wanted to put it is we originally wanted to put it here above the light switch. Problem is that with the hook and our keys hanging off the hook, we'd have to put it pretty high up the wall, and unless we minded it interfering with the switch. So my wife and I decided we're going to put it below the switch, and hopefully that will work out. Let's see how that does. So the trick is going to be I'm going to put this level on here, so then we can have this to some semblance of level right there. And the trick is going to be, what I did was I had drilled these 2 holes at an angle, and I shortened these nails a bit because I didn't want them to go into the any wiring that might be behind. So and it's now attached to the wall. Now, it's not permanent in any stretch of imagination, but it is good enough, I'm thinking. And now what we do is we hide those screws, or those nails, by screwing in the key hooks. As my beautiful wife has just reminded me the word. I'm thinking of dragonflies actually, but that's okay. This is going to be a problem.
Wires behind?
No, the wall's not flat and the board is. So I'm heading back to the shop. I'm going to do some shaping. My wall is bowed. I did not realize this earlier. I should have checked. So what I'm going to do is put that bow into my backer board, and that's what we'll do now. So I made a mill mark right here of how far I need to sand in the back to deal with that bow in the wall. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to show it because it's too hard to hold the camera and do this, is I'm going to use this side of the oscillating sander, and I'm just going to try to make it as smooth as an arc as possible. And when I get close, I'm just going to confirm that it's good, and keep on doing that until we get this to fit on that wall. What I've done is I sanded the back to be a nice curve that matches very closely my wall, the bow in my wall. And then what I also did was I went ahead and installed the nails and the dragonflies hooks, and I added carpet tape to the back to make it stick to the wall as well for added insurance. And now comes the fun part, removing the carpet tape backer, which always is a special joy. It's one of the reasons why I virtually never use this stuff. There we go. That's half of it. And this is always a joy to do. Getting that first start. There we go. Okay. Now, luckily, I already have my holes nailed into the wall. So all I have to do is just and press against the carpet tape to activate that tape. That's a little loose. nice and tight. And then the final keys.
Thank you.
Well, what do you think?
It looks great.
All right, so in with the new, out with the old. This old, just take it off and I'll have to pull this nail out. Good. Finally, after every woodworking project, you should always count your fingers. You end with 10. Good job.